Joining me now, Daily Signal senior editor and author of Woktopus, Tyler O'Neill. Thank you for being back on the program.
Hey, thanks again for having me.
Yes, every day, so much news going on. And I want to get first off, your reaction, because it's very exciting. I'm a Catholic. I'm happy about this. Amazing. The first American Pope. What's the significance that the Pope is American? And what could it mean for America spiritually and politically?
Yeah, I think it means a great deal. As we've noted, this is the very first Pope from the United States in history. That's history, period. The 2,000-year history of the Roman Catholic Church and the very first American Pope. Very exciting, as President Trump said. There are some really great things and some a little bit things that give me pause about this incoming Pope, Pope Leo XIV. He has been very strong on opposing gender ideology, which of course should come as no surprise. If you are a good Catholic, you should follow the catechism, which says, surprise, surprise, just like the Bible says, that human beings are male and female made in the image of God and cannot change from male to female or vice versa. And so it's very good to see this new Pope being on record, as Pope Francis had been, standing against radical gender ideology.
Okay, because there are people, concerned about this, Tyler, that they said, oh, is this, I'm just going to get it out, in the open. We're very happy that it's an American Pope from Chicago. I think it's a very favorable sign, and I know there's going to be a lot of support for the Vatican from American, Catholic Americans. There was some chit chat saying that, is he a more liberal or woke Pope? And I don't know if you've been able to get any background or feel for that.
There are a few concerns. He has it's not retweeting anymore. He reposted on X multiple statements opposing President Trump's deportations, opposing President Trump's firm stance against illegal immigration in the past. So we should be having our eyes open for this. I hope that, as the first American Pope, he will take a close look and say, do we really want to be supporting, the vast importation of illegal aliens that we saw under the Biden administration?
Well, and criminal illegal aliens.
Yes. And that's the thing is Trump has been focused, spearheading his efforts to deport the worst of the worst. And the fact that many people are complaining at this stage really shows where their loyalties lie. I also think it's very important that a friend of mine said Villanova is going to be insufferable after this. And I think that's a good little side take on this new Pope. But yeah, there are good things to look forward to. There's a lot. There are some things that we should be watching. For full disclosure, I'm an Anglican. I like to think of myself as pro-Catholic. I have followed a lot the traditions of the Catholic Church and have tremendous respect for it. But I'm on the other side of the Tiber, what we like to call separated brethren. So I think a lot of Protestants don't appreciate the papacy enough. But I also think that I don't quite subscribe to everything that the Catholic Church stands for.
Sure. So inside the Vatican, what do you see as the top priorities? We've seen discussions about, what direction the Vatican will go, whether there will be, more progressive reforms like we saw under Pope Francis. What should we know? What can we expect? And, what are the different opportunities and paths forward?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent question. I don't think we have enough evidence to know exactly where Pope Leo is going to take the Catholic Church. What we do see is some standing on good traditions and then some, I don't want to describe it as waffling, but some of the stances that he has reposted suggesting harsh criticisms of the current president of the United States, it's going to be an interesting question. I do think he is going to stand firm on the issues that really matter for Catholics, on the doctrine. One of the main things, as a Protestant, I don't actually believe this, but I think that the Catholic Church, there's a lot of misconception about the doctrine of ex cathedra and when the Pope is considered infallible. And I think Protestants do well to listen to Catholics on what exactly they mean by this. And even though Pope Francis had a lot of these head fakes in very, what we would call woke directions, he never stood and pronounced ex cathedra on matters of faith and doctrine, something that changed the fundamental teachings of the Catholic faith. And so, we'll be watching very closely, but I don't expect Pope Leo to take big stances in woke liberal directions from the seat of Peter in a way that that would alienate most of the conservative Catholics. After all, we're talking at a time where the Catholic faith in general, most priests who are being inducted into their priestly positions tend to be more on the conservative side of the spectrum theologically. They tend more to be, as the terminology is, based in their approaches. So if you look at the Catholic Church right now, and this is happening in Protestant churches too, the parts that stand firmest on the gospel, on the faith in Jesus Christ, especially the physical resurrection of Jesus, they tend to be doing the best. And if you look at those wishy-washy, more woke churches, they tend to be struggling. And that's true in Catholicism, that's true in Protestantism, and a version of it, obviously not believing the gospel, but a version of this same split is happening in Judaism as well. And you tend to find that the more traditional, the more orthodox denominations, the more orthodox sides are attracting more of the young converts in particular.
That's true.
And that's a really important thing to note over and over again, because a lot of people have this mistaken notion that in order to appeal to the youth, you need to water down the teachings of your church. What we're seeing is the exact opposite of that.
Okay, so what are some of the issues, as you look in this moment of time that you believe are facing the church? And, what should Catholics across the world be expecting, sort of, demanding, hoping, from the Vatican?
Yeah, well, I think the Vatican needs to be firm on the fact that countries can determine their own makeup, that borders matter. And one of the things we've seen, a lot of Catholic teaching has been almost sort of twisted on this issue in particular, where you see Catholic Charities and the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops even working with the Biden administration to import illegal aliens into this country in the past 4 years. I think it's very important, and of course, this is something I don't necessarily expect Pope Leo to do, but I would really like him to do, is come out and say, look, Catholic social teaching does not say that you have to give up borders if you are a country. Catholic social teaching does not say that illegal immigration is okay. Catholic social teaching values the importance of law and order and values the importance of people's lives when they're faced with increasing crime from illegal aliens. So I think this is a message that more and more Catholics need to hear, and I hope that Pope Leo can deliver it.